Hi friends, every child is a different kind of flower and all together make this world a beautiful garden. Welcome all to another episode of our online class. Last class we studied about Mukesh's family and his life, his surroundings. Mukesh introduced his family, his father, his mother, his elder brother, then the elder brother's wife, Bahu, and all there. They are living in a small house. Actually, we can't say it's a house, something not fully maintained, and it's actually a skeleton of a house. Using tin sheets or tarpaulin, they covered the house. And now there are some descriptions about his elder sister's wife. A girl, almost barely 20, but she had all the responsibilities of that family. She has to look after his husband's father, and his husband's brother. And as a father, Mukesh's father was a failure. Why? Because he couldn't save anything for their family. He couldn't repair or renovate that house, or he couldn't even send his children to school. At first he started his life as a tailor, but later he also followed his family tradition, that is what is making bangles. We have already said Firozabad, that place is famous for making bangles. And now we are moving on to the next paragraph. It is his karam, his destiny, says Mukesh's grandmother, who has watched her own husband go blind with the dust from polishing the glass of bangles. Can a God-given lineage ever be broken? She implies. Born in the caste of bangle makers, they have seen nothing but bangles. In the house, in the yard, in every other house, every other yard, every street in Firozabad. So, we have already said, despite his long years of hard labor, his father, at first he started his life as a tailor, then a bangle maker, but he has failed to renovate his house, then sent his two sons to school, and all he has managed to do is teach them what he knows. What he knows only in the art of making bangles. And now the old lady who said, it is his karam. Karam, Hindi word, means destiny, fate, says Mukesh's grandmother, who has watched her own husband go blind with the dust from polishing the glass of bangles. So, it's a family tradition, we have said. Actually, grandfather to father, father to son, it goes on. And can a God-given lineage means a parentage. We said parampariyam ennu parayum. Yes, a God-given lineage ever be broken? So, according to Mukesh's grandmother, it's a God-given lineage. So, it couldn't be broken. So, she implies means suggests. Born in the caste of bangle makers, they have seen nothing but bangles. In the house, in the yard, in every other house, every other yard, every street in Firozabad. So, they were born in that tradition. The tradition making bangles. And they have seen everywhere bangles. In the house, in the yard, in every other house, then in every other yard, everywhere, every street in Firozabad. Bangles everywhere. Spirals of bangles, sunny gold, paddy green, royal blue, pink, purple. Every color born out of the 7 colors of the rainbow lie in mounds in unkempt yards, are piled on 4-wheeled handcarts, pushed by young men along the narrow lanes of the shanty town, and in dark hutments next to lines of flames of flickering oil lamps sit boys and girls with their fathers and mothers, welding pieces of colored glasses into circles of bangles. So that is what is the tradition in Firozabad. So spirals of bangles, spirals, bangles, different colors, sunny gold, paddy green, royal blue, pink, purple, every color born out of the 7 colors of rainbow. 7 colors of rainbow, we call them Vibgyor: violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, red, all other colors born out of these 7 colors. So 7 different colors of bangles, and lie in the mounds. Mounds means a raised bank. In unkempt yards, unkempt means dirty yards. Bangles lying there on the ground like mounds. കുന്നുപോലെ വളകൾ ഇങ്ങനെ കൂട്ടിയിട്ടിരിക്കുകയാണ്. And in the dirty yards, and piled on 4-wheeled handcarts, then they carry these bangles, piles means കൂട്ടം, കുമ്പാരം, and on handcarts, 4-wheeled handcarts, ഉന്തിക്കൊണ്ടു പോകുന്ന കൈവണ്ടി, and then pushed by young men along the narrow lanes of the shanty town. Shanty means roughly built. And in dark hutments means a group of huts. They are doing this business only in dim light, in the darkness of the huts. Dark hutments next to lines of flames of flickering oil lamps. With the help of flickering oil lamps, flickering means flash of light, and sit boys and girls with their fathers and mothers. It's like they all together, all family members, they are doing this. Fathers, mothers, then children, they all together, and then they sit next, and then welding pieces of colored bangles into circles of bangles. So they have to just weld one end and then make this as a circled bangle. Their eyes are more adjusted to the dark than to the light outside. So only dim light is there. So they have to adjust their eyes to that dim light to do their business. So it is really very difficult. It's a strain for our eyes. Just like we people switched off the light and doing things or watching mobile. Just like that, only dim light is there. So they have to adjust their eyes with that dim light, and that's why they often end up losing their eyesight before they become adults. So in the case of children, before they become adults, they are losing their eyesights. It's very pathetic. Why? Because they are doing this business in the dark hutments. Only dim light is there, flickering oil lamps. So they have to adjust with that dim light. That's why they are losing their eyesight before they become adults. Savita, a young girl in a drab pink dress, sit alongside an elderly woman, soldering pieces of glass as her hands move mechanically like the tongues of a machine. I wonder if she knows the sanctity of the bangles she helps make. It symbolizes an Indian woman's suhag, auspiciousness in marriage. So, Savita, a young girl in a drab means dull. A young girl named Savita in a dull pink dress sits alongside an elderly woman soldering pieces of glass. Another instance, she saw there Annie's young. A young girl named Savita wearing a dull pink dress. She sits along with an elderly woman and who is soldering the piece of glass bangle. As her hands move mechanically like the tongues of a machine. Tongue means a tool used for manipulating things in a fire without touching them with hands. So it's an instrument used to do something or to do their business in fire without touching the fire, just like a type of long tool. With the help of that tool, they are doing their business, soldering with the help of fire, that bangle. I wonder if she knows the sanctity. Sanctity means holiness, Vishuddhi, Parishuddhi. Sanctity of the bangles she helps make. It symbolizes an Indian woman's suhag. Auspiciousness means fortunate in marriage. So, in North India, during marriage, these bangles are an integral part in their marriage, an essential thing. So, something auspicious, and it will dawn on her suddenly one day when her head is draped with a red veil, her hands dyed red with henna, and red bangles rolled onto her wrist. She will then become a bride, like the old woman beside her who became one many years ago. So maybe Savita, she is not married, and this sight, it will drawn on her, maybe drawn on her someday, suddenly one day when her head is draped with a red veil. So marriage function, her head draped with a red veil, and then her hands dyed red with henna. North Indian marriage essential, another essential thing is henna. Her hands dyed with a red henna, and red bangles rolled onto her wrist. Red bangles rolled onto her wrist. And then she will then become a bride. Then she will become a bride, like the old woman beside her who became one many years ago. So she is doing all this work along with an elderly woman. That elderly woman, once she became a bride like this. And beside, the word beside means by the side of, close to, near. B-E-S-I-D-E. But remember, besides, B-E-S-I-D-E-S. Besides means in addition to. Kudade. Beside, besides. Different meaning. So, beside, the woman sitting beside her who became one many years ago. Many years ago, that elderly woman was a bride like this. She still has bangles on her wrist, but no light in her eyes. That elderly woman, still she has some bangles on her wrist, but the light in her eyes faded. After her marriage, maybe she came that house with a lot of hopes, ambitions, wishes, but everything shattered. Maybe that's why her eyes, the light in her eyes faded completely. एक वक्त सर पर खाना भी नहीं खाया, she says. So she told that in Hindi. एक वक्त सर पर खाना भी नहीं खाया, which means she says in a voice drained of joy, she has not enjoyed even one full meal in her entire lifetime. That's what she meant. She couldn't even enjoy one full meal in her lifetime. വയറ് നിറച്ച് ഒരു നേരം മര്യാദയ്ക്ക് ഭക്ഷണം കഴിക്കാൻ ഇതുവരെ പറ്റിയിട്ടില്ല. അതാണ് അവൾ ഹിന്ദിയിൽ പറഞ്ഞത്. ദാറ്റ്സ് വാട്ട് ഷീ സെഡ് ഇൻ ഏക് വക്ത് സർ ഭർ ഖാന ഭി നഹീ ഖായ. And that's what she has raped. Her husband, an old man with a flowing beard, says, I know nothing except bangles, and I have done is make a house for the family to live in. So she complained that she couldn't have a full meal in her lifetime. That's what she reaped. That's what her fortune. Fortune within single inverted comma, which means the negative meaning. It's not fortunate. She's the most unfortunate lady. And one more thing, her husband knows that, and that's why he said, I know nothing except bangles. What to do? I only know to make bangles. And all I have done is make a house for the family to live in. So during these years of hard labor, all I have made is only a small house to live in. Hearing him, one wonders if he has achieved what many have failed in their lifetime. He has a roof over his head. So hearing his words, maybe some others wonders, because if he has achieved what many have failed in their lifetime, because we have already said about Mukesh's father, he has been making bangles for years, many years, but still he couldn't even complete, he couldn't even renovate his house. But here this lady's husband, who even achieved or succeeded in making a small house, but many others in that surroundings have failed in that. So at least he has a roof over his head. So at least he has a roof over his head. So in that sense he is lucky. The cry of not having money to do anything except carry on the business of making bangles, not even enough to eat, rings in every home. The young men echo the lament of the elders. Little has moved with time, it seems, in Firozabad. Years of mind-numbing toil have killed all initiative and the ability to dream. So, the cry of not having money to do anything except carry on the business of making bangles. So in Firozabad, every house, everywhere we can see bangles, and every members in the family they are making bangles. But still this cry is there. The cry is that they don't have anything. Still they are doing all this hard labor, but still they couldn't save anything. And majority of the people, they couldn't even enjoy a full meal. That sort of life they are leading in that place, Firozabad. And they are still doing this business of making bangles, not even enough to eat. Still, because majority of the people, majority of the men, they don't know any other job, or they don't have any other skill. They only know the art of making bangles. It's just like a family tradition from grandfather to father and then to son, and that tradition is going on. But actually they couldn't get anything from this job. And this cry is ringing every house in Firozabad. The young men echo the lament of the elders. Lament means wailing, vilapam. The young men, they are echoing the lament of the elders in the family. And little has moved with time. Little means nothing. Nothing has moved with time. Little negative meaning, nothing. A little means something. It seems in Firozabad, years of mind-numbing toil. Mind-numbing. Mind-numbing. Numbing means maravipikya. Manasine maravipikya. Mind. Years of mind-numbing toil means hard work. So years of hard work. They are doing their level best. but still, and they have killed all initiative and the ability to dream. So if we visit Firozabad, we can see the people there. As we have already said, that elder woman, but the light in her eyes almost faded. Yes, all the people there living with eyes without a ray of hope, because years of mind-numbing hard labor actually killed all the initiative and their ability to dream. They are dreamless people now. So we said, if we want to achieve, if we want to get something, we have to dream. But these people actually lost their ability to dream because of the strenuous, continuous process of this making bangles, but they couldn't achieve anything. And this actually totally destroyed their mind. That's why they lost their capacity, ability to dream. So such people are living in Firozabad. And Mukesh belongs to such a family, but still there is a ray of hope. Mukesh is one who dreams big. We have already said, or we have already come to know what Mukesh is dreaming for. He always says he wants to drive a car. So what are the problems, or what are the other issues actually going on in, or they are facing in Firozabad, that we will discuss in the next part of this story. Okay students, before winding up today's class, I remember last class I asked a question. It's about Malala Yousafzai, and I asked what's the name of her autobiography, and the answer is I Am Malala. And I got many right answers, and I am happy. And today I want to ask another question. We said Firozabad is famous for making bangles in India. Then my question is, name the state in which this place Firozabad situated. Name the state in which Firozabad situated. Find out the answer and send me. Until then, signing off. Goodbye and have a nice day.